Skin and is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, this is the situation. Yes. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it. Okay, I'm proud to be a black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride in who I am and dignity.
When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller. Or an off-the-wall Thriller.
And what did you think? I mean,
It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad. I don't want to go into my medical history because that's something that's private. But that's the situation here. So please, when people see something like that...
I just want to get this straight. Yeah. You are not taking anything to change the color of your skin?
Oh, God, no.
You did not purposely...
We're trying to control it, and using makeup evens it out because it makes blotches on the skin, and I have to even out my skin. I know my race. I just look in the mirror. I know I'm black. Which was a rumor. They said I was putting on cream to make myself lighter. That's not true. I have vitiligo.
You have a condition.
Vitiligo is a medical condition that Jackson claims has afflicted him for more than 20 years. This disfiguring skin disease affects nearly 2% of the world's population and strips all pigmentation from the skin. The result is not just pale, but porcelain white.
The beginnings of the vitiligo started happening relatively early. You know, he even was trying to hide it from me. He tried to hide it for quite a while. You know, he'd always try to cover with makeup and even out his skin tone and everything until it just got so extensive. I mean, it's all over his body. We were always trying to hide it and cover it for the longest time until he just had to tell Oprah and tell the world, listen, I'm not trying to be white. I have a skin disease.
The loss of pigment exposes vitiligo sufferers to great risk of skin cancer, requiring constant shade from the sun and thick makeup or sunblock to lessen the exposure.
You know, in the beginning, I tried to cover the light spots to the darkest part of his skin, but then it became so extensive that we had to go with the lighter part of the skin because his whole body was reacting. He'd have to be in complete, full body makeup every inch of his body. You know, so it was easier to make the transition to him being to the lighter shade.
What do you get? When I was really little, when I was 11 or 12, I was under contract with Motown, and I would have to go to the recording studio. I had to go and make these albums because the summer tour was right around the corner, and right across the street from the recording studio was a ballpark, and I could hear the kids, you know, the roar of the crowd and playing and catching ball and having fun and playing tennis. And some of those times I so passionately wanted to just go over there and just play a little bit and not go to the recording studio and sing. Just to, you know, have some fun with the kids. And I couldn't. People say, why is he always with children? Well, I was raised in a world with adults. When kids were playing in bed sleeping at night, I was up doing clubs. I was doing club dates, 3 in the morning. The striptease would come on after us. You know, we were performing, and we didn't have friends. My brothers were like my friends, but we worked. There was no Christmas, there was no birthdays, and we were very strict Jehovah's Witnesses. So I'm compensating. Nature makes sure that I compensate for the lost. So when you come behind my gate, you'll see amusement parks, you'll see animals, you'll see everything I never got to do. There's candy everywhere. It's fun.
These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I am hoping for a speedy end to this horrifying experience, to which I will say that I am particularly upset by the handling of this mass matter by the incredible, terrible mass media. At every opportunity, the media has dissected and manipulated these allegations to reach their own conclusions. I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent. Throughout my life, I have only tried to help thousands upon thousands of children to live happy lives. It brings tears to my eyes when I see any child who suffers. I am not guilty of these allegations, but if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give to help children all over the world. It is of loving children of all ages and races. It is of gaining sheer joy from seeing children with their innocent and smiling faces. It is of enjoying through them the childhood that I missed myself. If I am guilty of anything, it is of believing what God said about children. Suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not, for such is the kingdom of heaven. In no way do I think that I am God, but I do try to be God-like in my heart. I am totally innocent of any wrongdoing, and I know these terrible allegations will all be proven false.
The reason that's been given for why you didn't go to jail was because you reached a financial settlement with the family.
Yeah. I don't want to do a long, drawn-out thing on TV like OJ and all that stupid stuff, and it wouldn't look right. I just said, look, get this over with. I want to go on with my life. It's just ridiculous. I've had enough. All that was false. Complete innocent guy. I would never do it. I would slit my wrist before I would hurt you.
Jackson was certainly guilty of bad judgment in the 1993 settlement, but on top of it, he also later got a big O.J.-style trial. Geraldine Hughes was working as a paralegal for the Chandler's attorney in 1993, and recently she came forward to say those charges were also fabricated.
The allegation of child molestation was manufactured. I was the legal secretary that worked for the attorney who represented the father of the 93 accuser, and I actually witnessed them set Michael Jackson up.
It turns out that Jordy Chandler's divorced parents were having a contentious custody battle over their son. The dad, a part-time screenwriter who had written Robin Hood, Men in Tights, had an axe to grind against Michael when he refused to fund his new $20 million film project and home remodel. Shortly thereafter, the dad reportedly concocted the molestation story and demanded $20 million to settle the case. More recently, the son filed charges against his father for physical abuse. Not only was it a poor idea for Jackson to settle with the Chandlers, it also set the stage for others to make similar claims, hoping they too might strike it rich. After paying close attention to the trial, I believe Michael was guilty, not of child molestation, but of childlike innocence and bad judgment.
What happened at the house? That's what all these things are concerned about.
That's what's so weird, you know.
What did happen?
Nothing happened, you know. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, you know. We played it as an amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael is that he's not very good at explaining himself, and he never really has been, because he's not a very social person. I mean, you're talking about someone who's been sheltered and sheltering himself also for the last like 30 years, or and so he's not very good at communicating to people, and not very good at conveying what he's actually trying to say to you. And so when he says something like that, people, he doesn't quite understand why people react the way that they do.
Why do you think he likes young people so
It's because it's the same reason why he liked me, was the fact that I didn't care who he was. That was the thing. I talked to him like he was a normal human being. And that's what, and kids do that to him, because he's not, I mean, he's Michael Jackson, the pop singer, but he's not the god of, the king of pop or anything like that. He's just, a guy who's actually very kid-like himself and wants to go out there and wants to play video games with you.
What do you make of what he's going through now?
Like, like I said, it's unfortunate, and, it's a circus right now.
You think it's a bad rap?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's, listen, like, look what happened the first time this happened to him. If someone had done something like that to my kid, I would, I wouldn't just settle for some money. I'd make sure the guy was in jail, and it just really goes to show. I mean, as soon as, they got the money and they ran, I mean, that's really what happened the first time. And so, I don't know, it's a little crazy, and I kind of have taken a step back from the whole thing, because it is a bit of a circus.
Spend my life as a serious journalist to ask these kinds of questions, but I'm not oblivious to the fact that your fans had one question they most wanted to ask of you.
Do we have sex?
We have you.
She didn't ask.
I didn't
Okay,
ask.
I won't ask. Okay,
You don't know what it was going to be.
Just a minute or
Sorry.
two. Let's play one or two.
We want to know if you've done the thing.
Michael, I know that this is an intimate question, but are you having sex together with Lisa Marie?
Again,
I can't believe it.
But this is about the skepticism.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
About what, may I say?
You gotta remember something. The minute I started breaking the all-time record in record sales, I broke Elvis's records. I broke Beatles' records. The minute it became the all-time best-selling album in the history of the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight they called me a freak. They called me a homosexual. They called me a child molester. They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me. This was all complete conspiracy. You have to know that. Garbage and so much trash that's written about me. It's so untrue. They're complete lies. And those are some of the things I want to talk about. The press has made up so much god-awful, horrifying stories that are completely appalling. Completely appalling. And so far from the truth, it has made me to realize the more often a person tells a lie, the more times you hear a lie, I mean, you begin to believe it. If it's told often enough, you start to believe it. And it's appalling the things that have been said about me. They're completely false. Why do people buy these papers and it's not the truth? And I'm here to say, do not judge a person. Do not pass judgment on anyone unless you have talked to them one-on-one. I don't care what the story is. Do not judge them because it's a lie. I'm willing to forgive the press and forget anybody, I was taught to love and to forgive, which I do have in my heart. But please, don't believe this crazy horrifying. Someone makes it up and everybody believes it. If you hear a lie often enough, you start to believe it.
Yes, and people make money selling tabloids.